Over the past year, we have worked tirelessly to get our family out of this field in the caravan into this farmhouse. And we have got there. But there's a few things we neglected. First of which is our kitchen. Rob made the kitchen months and months ago, but we still don't have cabinet doors. And secondly, the parlour. Months ago we discovered an old fireplace behind the plaster in here. What else have we found? Let me show you. Turned into a dumping ground.
What are you gonna do? I don't know.
Very exciting.
Not very well though.
Giving that little extra.
That wasn't too bad.
I love this.
This is actually one sheet.
There was a mouse sitting in the fireplace.
I don't know, does that make sense?
Washed my hair last night and it's full of dust, and what's the point? Because I'm going to do this.
This seemed like a good idea when I bought the wood.
It's rotten and it's holding these beams up.
I'm very happy with this, going well.
Very exciting. Okay, gotta sort this room out. Turned into a dumping ground, but we need to clear it now. Room clear, ready to go. We're gonna attack this wall. We're gonna get all the plaster off, see what we can find. This work was relatively easy. Where the plaster was, it just sort of fell off. Not a difficult job at all. Near the bottom, and I'll show you on the other side, we had some serious concrete pieces to get rid of. But all in all, not too bad at all. The wall was coming out wonderful behind it. Rob came in to have a quick look. I think he was just as excited as I was. The clay is amazing, how it just holds this whole wall together. And it was a very solid wall. No holes, no real cracks, nothing, and some really massive stones in there. I absolutely loved this, and I had wanted to do it since we got rid of we discovered the fireplace in the summertime. So, just kept going. Yes, it's done. I'm just clearing out the rubble. Lots of it, pain in the ass. This part here seems to have been. This just seems to be solid concrete. So I may have to leave this till tomorrow and have another go off it. Solid concrete from each side of the fireplace here as well. And it's funny because under that solid concrete, it is absolutely sopping wet. So it's really important that I can try and get that concrete off to allow it to dry out. At the same time, of course, we will have to work on the drain at the front. Just before I kind of finish up, because this is very tiring work, just doing this little patch here. This little square was where there was a shower, because this was an ensuite. So this is really easy just to pull up. So I'm just going to pull that up and get rid of it while I'm getting rid of the rest. I'm going to leave it there tonight. Attack it again in the morning. I need to rake it all out, and then of course we have to point it. We must make a decision though, because Rob is thinking maybe I should do this wall too, which would be either side of the window, which would be lovely, because we have discovered, as well as the damp that's coming by the concrete at the bottom down here, there's an obvious, I don't know if you can see, but there is an obvious dampness here, which is probably on this wall as well. So we'd probably be doing the wall the world of good if I just stripped this off. And yeah, it's actually, it's relatively easy to come off. So, I can have this off, it's in a day, so. Maybe it's worth going that little extra, giving that little extra just to get it done. When we first came in this morning, there was a mouse sitting in the fireplace. Not sure where that mouse has gone now, but anyway, to be sure, I'm hoping he will be coming back in again. But we'll see. So, till tomorrow.
Thank you all for your amazing support over the last year. To celebrate, we've decided to produce this limited edition Christmas card for you guys. If you'd like to pick them up, packs of 5 or 10, go to the Ko-fi store. We also have a really cool postcard version, which you can get in the same place. And if you want to pick up a Rooney card or a traditional Farmhouse card, we'd be delighted for your support. Thanks, folks.
And while we're here, if you want to get your own journal for your own homesteading adventures, grab this from the Amazon link below.
You know, I was terrified about this job from the very beginning, from when we bought this house over a year and a half ago. I never made cabinet doors. I didn't know how to make them, number one, but I didn't know how to make them so that all of the wood would line up on all the cabinets. So I thought about this for a long time and I dreaded doing it, and I put it off for so long, but I just got stuck in. Well, hey folks, that wasn't too bad at all. The track saw made a huge difference. The piece that was complicated with this was I have a 60 centimeter pantry, a 30 centimeter pantry, and another 30 centimeter pantry. And I wanted them all from the same sheet so the grains would match. So it took a long time, it took a lot of Googling, took a lot of research, took a lot of measuring, took a lot of patience, and I'm hoping these are going to go on now. Okay, I'm going to take in the big one and try that first, and I don't know how to assemble these things. I suppose I might go inside and have a look for some instructions. I think I kept them all underneath the cupboards, but yeah, I'll see if I can get them all on. If I can get them all on, then what I'm thinking is just drilling a circle through it and just a finger hole to pull it out, and then I'll give them a sand and a stain with tung oil, and then they should be done. Let's at least try to get one up today. I know I wanted to get one last week, but just cleaning up this place just took way too long. So it's pretty good now. At least I can work. Let's go to the kitchen. Let's try and do this. So I thought straightforward, hang it, but no. It was a lot more complicated that required Google. So, hit a bit of a dilemma. Clearly I'm a novice at installing kitchens. What are you gonna do? But I have this, this Parlor pulls straight out. And unlike this Parlor, let me start with this. This Parlor pulls straight out, so you can access the goods on either side. It's quite easy then to mount a door to it, because the door literally just fits onto these brackets. Well, I say it's quite easy, you can see. So you just attach these and the door comes straight out. Door just goes directly onto these bits, and that's fine. This pantry is slightly bigger, and because when we pull it out you're not going to be able to stand on this side, I opted for a door that swings open like this. So it's got separate hinges that goes there, and there's like some other thing that clips on here, I think, and that's all going to help open a door for us. However, it also appears now that I have to use some of these things to put actual hinges on the door, which I wasn't expecting to do today, but I guess I have to do them. So to put them on, I have bucket loads of these soft close hinges, but they're very deep, and can we see it here? I kind of don't want to go all the way through the wood, so I may have to raise it up a little bit, like so. I don't know, does that make sense? So this is going to take me a bit of time to figure out. I kind of maybe stupidly thought I could do the 3 parlors first. I have them cut out of one piece of wood. I'm really keen to see how it goes, but I guess not. I guess I'm just going to have to jump right into this and try and figure out how to do it. So one of the things I'm going to have to do, I think, is to make a jig, because I reckon I want all of them to be the same height. I don't know. This seemed like a good idea when I bought the wood. I'm gonna have a little bit of a think about this. So I have the receiver hole for the soft close hinge. You can see there is about, I would say, 4mm gap. I think any deeper I can actually take a little bit off, but there's a pilot hole at the middle of it, and I think the pilot hole might come through here. It's pretty close now, so I'm just gonna go inside. I'm gonna check that up, see how it all lines up, and on this cool little jig I got from Amazon, I am able to just tie off the drill just to stop it going very deep. There's a little copper washer as well. So if this works, I think I might be able to do this. Well, I'm just going to go in and check it out. Let's see how it goes. This was nerve-wracking. I really did not want to put a hole in this wood because I wouldn't just mess up one door. It was actually all 3 doors came from the one sheet. So if I mess up any of these doors, that's a whole new sheet, and it's like 70-80 euros for the sheet. So the stakes were high with this. This is the most nervous I was in any other part of the project. If I messed up and anything else, whatever, just replace it. But these kitchen doors have hung over my head for months. And now, look at that. It's soft closing. Not very well though. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, folks. With a little adjustment, they were closing perfectly. And a few more screws and I had the pantry coming out. The template for this was really useful, very handy. There is nothing more satisfying than a knife sharpened pencil. Is there? The template for this particular door was really useful. Made a big difference lining things up and putting them on. The brackets themselves are very forgiving in that there's a lot of adjustments on the back of the door should you need to make a few changes. So very happy with this. This was a little bit more difficult than I thought, but got there in the end and I didn't damage it. So there's a little bit to sand, a little bit to finish, but overall, pretty happy with that. Lovely soft close. Hard to get out because I have to drill a handle in it. The gap is absolutely perfect there, but I think the big door is maybe just hung down a little bit, so I need to pop that door up. Next, I'm going to try and fit the last piece up, and then I'm going to pause and I'm just going to finish it, maybe even get a little bit of tongue oil down, and they're the only big ones really. I just have to sort these out then. Hopefully it won't take that long. Getting a bit of momentum, let's go.
Okay, and we're back, and I haven't bothered to wash my hair last night, and it's full of dust, and what's the point, because I'm going to do this. We decided to do this wall with the window, get it done, and it'll look great, and I just want to get it done now this morning and ready for raking out. So that's the aim. I'll pop you on time lapse. The corner here was exactly like the wall I had just uncovered. Solid and lovely big stones rounding off towards the window edge. But the bottom of the window is solid poured concrete, which tells me that this was actually maybe never a window. Or what was it? Some kind of opening? We don't know. The other side then, on the right hand side, is made up of all sort of shaly bits of stone, not as solid as the left hand side. So this was really interesting, and you just want to know what went on in this room require? Was it a little extra space where they kept animals, but then there's a fireplace? Who knows? Okay, so back on the last little section here, and this is quite exciting because if you see here, this lintel, which we think is a lintel, is far from good because it's rotten and it's holding these beams up. So we will have to prop these beams up and fill this back in with stones and mortar and everything, and build it back up. But that's fine, that can be done from the inside, that's fine. But what's really interesting is we think that this lintel is here because this seems to be filled in here differently. So was this a separate building to this? Was this a window? Was this a door? We don't know. So the more I go down, the more I'll reveal. So it's very exciting. So the right-hand side of this window is so different that now we're thinking, was it that it was an extended window? We don't know. It's just so different to the other. And as I make more mess, then of course it piles up below, which means I can't work on the bottom part of the wall. So of course there's always a bit of good old cleaning up to do in between, which actually gave the old SDS drill a bit of a break because it was really hot as I was doing this. Yeah, there we go, shoveling up the crap, which it looked amazing afterwards. These were the hard pieces where there was solid concrete all the way along the bottom. But actually, once you got into the swing of it, it came off okay. And it's really allowing the wall to breathe. So as I turned the corner here, I actually discovered quite a lot of glass in the wall. And afterwards, we were told by a neighbour that this was probably put there to stop rats and mice coming in. So it's just so interesting. And even this side as well needed a bit of breathing space. So it was late last night when I finished, and I didn't get to tell you what was happening next. We got some old rafters and quickly put some props up for these beams. Ash is above in this room. So yeah, it's important that we have this propped up. This piece of wood, this old lintel, which is completely rotten, coming out. And then we'll have to patch up the hole with more stones and mortar, and hopefully we'll be okay. I'm just going to concentrate on this room for now. We're not going into the hall yet, so I may have to do another patch-up job depending how far this little goes. But it's very exciting, this doorway. Spoke to the old people who owned it. They didn't know it was there, so it's very exciting. So yeah, I love this. I love the demolishing. I don't particularly like the cleaning up, but I love demolishing. So it's great. So we'll get all this lime rendered and it'll be looking fabulous. So I'll leave it there and I'll see you next time.
So after doing the first one here, the second one, I was getting a little bit more confidence and I wasn't worried about making a mistake. So I pretty much put on the top bracket, I hung it, and then I just attached all the brackets from the back. That made it really simple, really quick. Okay, this one went a little bit quicker, had to do some adjusting at the top, but we got there in the end. Check this out. Lovely soft close pantry. This is looking pretty awesome. Not terribly happy with the hinge on this door. I'll finish the whole thing off and I'll finish the whole thing off and then I'll do the alignments on it. But first, I need to continue. So this is actually one sheet of plywood. Amazing, it did 3. I think this sheet was maybe, I want to say about 70 euros, so I'm quite happy with that, and I'll probably do this with another sheet. So I'm going to take some measurements, I'm going to get down and cut it. It would be nice if I could do a few more this evening. It's getting a little bit late now. Slow going, but takes it's worth going a little bit slow and just getting the gaps and everything right. So I'm very happy with this, going well. So quick measure, get a brand new sheet, line up all the cuts I need to make and, well, start making the cuts. Sand them all off, bring them up and reinforce the shelves, hang up the doors using this cool little jig. I think the jig's about €17 on Amazon. There's loads of tools for cabinet making there. You know, for years in my last house, I had a couple of broken doors, over 10 years, and I never quite got around to fixing them. It always seemed too difficult, but it's so easy. So if you want to replace your doors or fix your doors, Amazon's the way to go. After the first few doors, I was flying it, and it's really rewarding to see the wood grain line up like this. Well, we got this done. It's not perfect. There's a little bit of wonky gaps that I have to address. And for some reason, I lost a ½ centimeter up in that corner. It just sloped away. But thankfully it's high, you can't quite see it. I think these look wonderful with the grain. It's hard to see now, but the grain kind of crosses all doors. So I'm very happy with that. I think it looks really, really good. When we have electricity, it may even look better once they're stained. I think it'll look superb. For now, I am going to try and do something here. Let's see how it goes. Now, I was getting pretty confident here, and this door and hinge just flew up. The next one is actually a pantry, so I used the template and it just didn't fit, so I gotta rethink this. Hey folks, we're just gonna leave it there. I ran into a difficulty on this very last one. It is one of those pull-out drawers. The door sits on this rail here, but for some reason it's off by about 2 centimeters, so I have to take it all off. I have it down here and I have to just manually fit it. I was using a template, but the template isn't working. Anyway, this all looks superb. I am very happy with how this is looking. I got up to here done. I have them all cut out and I have these all cut out. This is the one that just stopped me. It's a mix of soft closed doors and pull out larders like this. Very happy. We're just going to take a couple of templates, stain a few, oil a few, see which finish we want. But I'm gonna leave it there, folks. I didn't get as much as I wanted done, and I'm editing tomorrow, so literally I've taken over the work surface. All my tools are there and they're gonna stay there until Saturday, when I'm gonna get back to this and hopefully move on. I'll see y'all. Thanks for watching. Slán go fóill, gur míle maith agat later. And here we have the self-closing doors. 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 Everything's perfect.